All right, we on live.
All right, Shalom. This is GMS New Orleans coming at you with a live lesson set slash inside camp due to inclement weather. But before we get started, as always, we're going to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai, Bahasham, Rakah, double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who ruled and teach well. And peace and salutations to you, sincere Akim out there, pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure until the end. And to the few sincere Aqua diligently learning in silence, Shalom. And the premise of this lesson is going to be bad news is good news, if you're in the truth. Because we can see all these things people in the world would be considered bad news is taking place, from a financial perspective, from a war perspective, societal collapse, you know, tyranny with people losing their rights, all these things. But when you have a spiritual eye, you see that all these things were said to take place in the scriptures right before, the kingdom of heaven was to come. So that's good news to us. The worse things get out here, you know, the better it is for us. And that's the spirit you should be in. You know, whenever it's gotten to the point to where whenever I see any good news, to people of this world, it puts me in a bad mood. When you see things start to get bad, but then Esau takes his foot off the gas pedal, I get pissed off by that. But when I see some just horrific news, that damn near makes me want to do a backflip and skip for the rest of the day, because that's just a sign that we're one step closer to all hell breaking loose and our salvation. And these are the things that our forefathers and the prophets in the past have been diligently waiting for, and now we are finally here in these times. Or we can start with that Luke.
God. It's the Gospel of St. Luke, chapter 10, verse 23. It says, "And he turned him unto his disciples and said privately," and this is Yahushua in red letters, it says, "Blessed are the eyes which see the things that ye see. For I
Kind.
tell you, oh,
Oh, you got it. Keep going.
for I tell you that many prophets and kings have desired to see those things which you see and have not seen them, and to hear those things which you hear and have not heard them."
And somebody hold for me that Acts, where they said is now the time of the kingdom of heaven.
Okay.
But as Yahushua was telling his disciples, blessed are the eyes which see the things that ye see. And he was talking to them in the past about how they saw the coming of the Messiah. But we know everything was written aforetime, was written for our learning. He's also speaking to his disciples today, who are in the times to see his second coming, to see the salvation, to see these heathens get judged, the wicked of our people in the kingdom of heaven. Which, as it further said, for I tell you that many prophets and kings, you know, prophets, the righteous kings of the past, have desired to see those things which ye see and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear and have not heard them. And now we are finally in those times where we can see the words literally taking place, right before our very eyes, and accelerating at that. So again, you know, this is a book, as it says in Ezekiel, of lamentations, mournings, and woes. But the flip side of that is after that is what? The kingdom of heaven to come, the salvation, everything that brothers, no matter how long they've been in the truth prophesying this word, have been diligently waiting for. All our labors are finally going to pay off.
You want that Acts?
Con, you can get it.
And this Acts chapter 1, verse 6. "When they therefore were come together, they asked him, saying, Lord, wilt thou at this time restore again the kingdom to Israel?"
Con, straight to the point. When Yahweh rose up and he was dealing with the disciples before he went back to the Heavenly Father, they thought that was it. Is now the time that thou will restore the kingdom? And here we are, a couple of thousand years later. Back then, those men desired to see those things, but it wasn't the time. But now we're finally here with that expectation that now is the time that the kingdom of heaven is about to be restored. So, brothers, if you brothers and you few sincere sisters out there, yeah, We got to go through these, daily trials and tribulations and demons that are messing with us. But just know that each day forward is one day closer to the kingdom. And at this point in the spirit, we're literally seconds away from our salvation. So the worse the news gets out here, the better of a mood you should be in.
Uh,
You know,
You have one? Con, you got it.
this is Romans 10 and 15. I'm gonna start at 14. I'm gonna be 15 in the NLT. It says, "How then shall they call on him who have not, whom they have not believed? And how shall they believe in him of whom they have not heard? And how shall they hear without a preacher? And how shall they preach except they be sent? As it is written, how beautiful are the feet of them that preach the gospel of peace and bring glad tidings of good things." You get in the
Con,
NLT. I'm gonna let you
con,
get it. You just get in there. Bible shot. Well, go ahead if you want. You want to get it.
you can read it in the NLT.
Come. It says, "And how will anyone go and tell them without being sent?" And the Lord said, "The apostles, way last, man. All right." It says, "This is why the scriptures say, how beautiful are the feet of the messengers who bring the good news." You got it.
Con. And when we read about the message that the prophets brought, what does it say in Jeremiah 28? The prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and kingdoms and nations of evils, pestilences, and wars. But then in this Romans 10 and 14, what does it say? How beautiful are the feet of them that bring the glad tidings of good things. Bad news is good news because all those things, lamentations, mournings, woes, wars, mass death, pestilence, hey, those are a telltale sign that a kingdom is about to end. And what? Now that we know that we're in the last kingdom of the heathens, Esau, the kingdom that comes next is the kingdom of heaven. So that's a beautiful message. That's glad tidings of good things. And then on top of that, what? The Lord says all throughout the scriptures that his people are going to have a hedge of protection over them. So while we will have to walk through Jacob's trouble, as long as we, remain in our faith and, our integrity and do the works, as it says in Psalms 91, 1,000 shall fall at thy right hand and 10,000 at thy left. But hey, you shall go, through it.
I got one real fast.
Con, you got it.
This is Sirach chapter 25, verse 7 says, "There be 9 things which I have judged in my bad in my heart to be happy. In the tent I will utter with my tongue. A man that has joy of his children, and he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy."
Con. That was the next one we were gonna get. But that's one of my favorite precepts. There be 9 things, and nine is what? 333, which is what, like full understanding. There be 9 things which I have judged in mine heart to be happy, and the 10th I will utter with my tongue. A man that have joy of his children, which is going to be something, the Israelites are finally going to be able to have in the kingdom of heaven. A peaceful rulership, not having to worry about all these different factors corrupting your children, and you being sovereign over your children. And he that liveth to see the fall of his enemy, which we can see Esau, the so-called white man, is collapsing on every level, economically, militarily. He's in a negative birth rate, and he's on the verge of going to a world war where nuclear missiles are going to be used. And it's a beautiful thing to see, all these things take place because, growing up, you used to think, oh, there's no way that this Edomite's ever going to go down. America's the strongest nation. This is just what it's going to be. But, with my short time in the truth, I've been able to see the transition from, him looking like he had everything on lock to him just being completely made a fool on the world stage. And Nero 47 encapsulates America perfectly. A rich fool who runs his mouth that's turning everybody against him.
The proud devil.
Con, and making America look like a complete joke. And then, another thing, that enemy all includes these other nations, these other heathen nations, as well as 2/3 of our wicked people. the ones that come against us the hardest, we're seeing them lose as well. Them no longer able to get the bag like they wanted to, having to go into even more debt to get those dusty ass Christmas presents. It's a beautiful thing. So where we're at right now in prophecy, hey, I think brothers can agree with me. If you're in the spirit, you want to be anywhere else, and you want the news to just get that much worse out here because the bad news is good news.
Quickly.
Khan. You said you had one too, Amawad?
I got you one.
Khan, you got it, Kaya.
Galatians 4:16. And I therefore become your enemy because I tell you the truth.
Hey, that's straight to the point. And that's what it is with, 2/3 of our people. They're still under this illusion and delusion of the greatness of America. So when we tell them, hey, this place is going to go down, you know, there's going to be a financial collapse and violence on the streets, they don't want to give up on this American nightmare. So they hate us that much more and fight against us. You had that recent situation in Tampa with that nigger, Waka Flocka, where, you know, brothers were dialoguing with him, and pretty much he was just in the spirit, I don't want to lose this money. you know how you going to tell me what's going on if you ain't been out of the country? Just carnal shit. Because what, he's a Jake that's given over to his passions in the world and what little bullshit reputation he has. So if that's a Jake with money, you know it that's one thing. But then you got our people that don't have anything, that want to see this place continue. But here we are, bringing the glad tidings of good things, but it's bad news unto you, and you hate us for it. So everything that's coming your way, going back to that Sirach 25:7, hey, it's justly deserved. And it's beautiful to see the downfall of you. And when we read throughout the prophets said the same thing. You had Jeremiah, who's here he was coming, preaching to him to come back to the Heavenly Father, but they hated him for it, and wanted to put him to death. So what did he eventually do? He started praying for curses on them, and praying for them to be bereaved of the things they love. And we're in the same spirit.
God.
But you got it, Amawad.
God, this is the Lord, reading the gospel, and it's going to go right along with what you just said. This is St. Luke chapter 4, verse 17. It says, "And there was delivered unto him the book of the prophet Isaiah. And when he had opened the book, he found the place where it was written." And this is Yahushua reading Isaiah 61. It says, "The Spirit of the Lord is upon me, because he hath anointed me to preach the gospel to the poor. He hath sent me to heal the brokenhearted, to preach deliverance to the captives, and recovering of sight to the blind, to set at liberty them that are bruised." So this gospel is to the brokenhearted, the captives, those that are in bondage, those that are downtrodden. It says to preach the acceptable year of the Lord, and he closed the book. Now this is what it says in Isaiah 61. It says to proclaim the acceptable year of the Lord, and the day of vengeance of our power, to comfort all that mourn. So the day of vengeance of the Lord is comforting those that are mourning. And if you're in the spirit of, just sick and tired of this devil ruling over you, the gospel, hearing that this devil's going to go down, he's going to be destroyed, is good news unto you.
Khan.
I got another one.
Khan, you got it.
The other one too, I'm a why it said something about the acceptable year.
Yeah, that's it right here.
Oh, that's it. Yeah. Sorry.
I'm going to read it again. This is Isaiah 61:2. "To proclaim the acceptable year of Yahweh, and the day of vengeance of our power, to comfort all that mourn, to appoint unto them that mourn in Zion." So this gospel is only to Zion, to the Israelites, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans that are mourning. Because 2/3, like the brother just said, niggas like Waka Flocka, they're not mourning. They love it here. All right, that nigga, Anton Daniel, these niggas would love America to just keep going forever. So the gospel to them is bad news. What's good news to us is bad news for the heathen and niggas that want the heathen to stay in power. But you got it, right?
Khan. And also, could a brother hold for me Baruch chapter 4? You can read verses 24 to 25 and then jump down to 30. But you got it, Elder.
Got you.
I'm looking. Hold on. Let's see.
I think you said you have one, Kaya, or
Come. Now, y'all can knock out. You got it.
I'm looking for one real fast. There.
When the brother gets that Baruch, hey, it's going to back up the precept he brought out. This word is a binding, a healing to those that are afflicted in spirit,
Mhm.
and ain't afflicted in the body, because it says in the scriptures in Revelation 21 that when we're in the kingdom, what all the tears and the sorrow is going to be wiped away. But before we get there, you know, we have to go through, Jacob's trouble and things getting worse out here. But again, you know, knowing what the finish line of that is, it makes it that much easier to walk that straight and narrow path. And how much easier now when you see any endeavor people try to get into just be, a failure at this point. If you didn't become a football player at this point, you're never going to become one. A rapper, your music's already garbage, so it's not going anywhere. You're trying to get into the corporate world, but these corporations are pushing for AI and automation. So there's the only path going forward is through the gospel, to the truth, to the kingdom, and any other way is leading to nowhere. Well, it's the only place it's leading to is destruction. But you found your precept, Yakanat?
Yeah, but it didn't pass. Don't worry about it.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Kind. You got a kayat, then you got that Baruch Amawad.
Fine, this Psalms 141, and I got one after that brother too. All kind of coming to my mind. But it says this Psalms 141, 5 and 6, right? It says, let the righteous smite me, it shall be a kindness, and let him reprove me, it shall be an excellent oil, which shall not break my head. For yet my prayer also shall be in their calamities. When the judges are overthrown in stony places, they shall hear my words, for they are sweet.
Khan. As I said, let the righteous smite me, and it shall be a kindness. What does it say in Job chapter 5? When you take the stripes of the Lord, it's actually healing. Because what? It's rebuking you of being in the ways of this world and refining you as that gold in the fire so you can be perfectly accepted before the Lord. Oh,
In the NLT, verse 6, it says, when their leaders are thrown down from a cliff, the wicked will listen to my words and find them true.
hey, what does it say in Obadiah about Esau? Though thou exalted thyself as the eagle and set thy nest among the clefts of the rocks and the stars, thence will I
Yeah.
bring thee down. And here
Yeah.
we are. That was beautiful. As it says in Isaiah 13, we're in the gates of the nobles, shaking the hand at them. And as it says in Jeremiah 50, the king of Babylon hath heard their report, and fear struck him as a woman in travail. Not only are the elect seeing these prophecies come to pass, but what the elites in the know are seeing the same thing, and they're trembling in fear because their worst fears coming to pass. Judith chapter 5. If these people come back to their power, then there's nothing we can do against them, and we'll be made a reproach and a laughing stock before them. And again, going back to that Sirach 25 and 7, beautiful it is to see the downfall of our enemies. Even though we can't see these elites face to face, knowing in the spirit that they're in terror is a beautiful thing.
You want that Baruch?
Con. Wait, let me hold on a second. Yeah, back in that Psalms 141 and 5. Let the righteous smite thee, and it shall be a kindness, and let him reprove me. Hey, I will set them in order before thine eyes, and it shall be an excellent oil. This knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, which goes what? Isaiah 33 and 6, which is going to be the stability of our times. Because what? Even though bad news is coming, having this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding is good news for us, because we know Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai is going to keep us. Which shall not break my head, for yet my prayers also shall be their calamities. Which, if a brother could hold for me, it's in Sirach.
Man, hurting the elements, man. Like when we speak the word of healing, what it's doing to us is healing us, but it's hurting the what? The other people, man. Other nations, man. So it's an opposite. When we get of the word and what the wicked receive of the word, It's the total opposite, man. That's
Con,
their calamities, man. You got it.
con, to back that up, that Psalms 141, could somebody get me Sirach 35? You read verse 16 to uh, 16 to 19, Baba Kashah.
You holding that? Which one you holding, Amawada? You getting that too? Listen,
Got both of them. No worries.
I could get one of them. I'm just making sure I ain't getting you got. You know, we both got it.
I'm holding the Baruch though.
All right. Sirach 35. And you say read to 16. My bad, dude.
Con, Sirach 35, start at verse 16 and read to 19. But real quick, as it said at the end of verse 5 in Psalms 141, for yet my prayer shall be their calamities. This Sirach 35 is going to show why our prayers are their calamities. You got it.
Yeah, I'm gonna start at 15 because that's one of my scriptures I always bring out. If you don't mind.
Con, you got it.
This is Sirach 35 and 15. It says, we start at 14. It says, he will not despise the supplication.
Start at 13.
Let's start at 13, bro. So long, dude.
Just start at verse 1.
It's the
Start at
one,
verse 1, read down to 20.
yeah, verse Sirach 35 and 13, 15, one of my favorite scriptures. It says, he will not accept any person against a poor man, but will hear the prayer of the oppressed. It's the same supplication. Yeah,
He will not accept any person against a poor man. And who's that poor man? The elect. He's not, the Lord is not a respecter of persons. It doesn't matter how rich or illustrious you are. The Lord only cares about his people and right now his elect. Who are the poor of the poor? Because what? We're at the complete bottom of society. These heathens hate us, our own people hate us. But what? We have Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai that loves us. And as the elder brother says all the time, you got a lot of jakes out here with these videos that only care about the view count, but there's only two views that matter: Yahweh, why Yahweh Shai, because they're the only ones that can make a difference in bringing about our salvation and doing something with our prayers.
Yeah, I was gonna say because we're poor to this world, but we're rich in spirit, though, man.
Con,
Because we have the knowledge of Yahweh Shem Shai, which is a treasure, right? And this treasure is stored up in the heavens right now, all right, waiting to be cashed in. All right, go ahead.
Con, you got it.
yeah. We also got this treasure in earthen vessels, man, which leads to the cashing in the kingdom, man, which is our spirits, man. Well,
Hey, and with these earthen vessels, was it saying First Corinthians, the Lord has chosen the base things of the earth, the low things, to confound the wise, and those things that are not, to take down those things that are. By us praying and preaching this word, we're taking down, the most powerful heathen rulership in the history of mankind, and we haven't even lifted up a finger to do so in carnality. But yet we're nobodies.
yeah, verse 14. He will not despise the supplication of the fatherless, nor the widow when she poured out her complaint.
Con, the Lord hears these supplications of ours.
It says, do not the tears run down the widow's cheeks, and is not her cry against him that causes them to fall?
Hey, the men that sigh and cry for all the abominations that be therein. And what? Again, that Isaiah 13, going into the gates of the nobles and shaking the fist at them. And when you're doing that, you're upbraiding them. You're bringing out all their crimes, all the wickedness they've done. And what? Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai hears it and is hastening these things as it's about to go into, hastening their downfall, our prayers being their calamity.
It says, he that serveth the Lord shall be accepted with favor, and his prayer shall reach into the clouds.
Hey, he that serveth the Lord shall be accepted with favor, and his prayers shall reach unto the clouds. We've been going into the books of Revelations, and we brought out that Tobit where it says, "I am Raphael that brings the prayers of the saints before the Heavenly Father." And when you read the book of Tobit, you had two Israelites that were in dire situations, and they prayed unto the Lord, And Raphael brought their prayers before the Lord. And what did the Lord do? He remedied both of their situations and put them at peace. So that's a story for us in these times. We're in dire straits. We're praying unto the Lord. The angels are bringing it before the Lord. It reached unto the clouds, and the Lord is doing His work.
Yeah, and they didn't know each other. They had no idea of their prayers, but the Lord used the angel to connect both of them in their prayers for what they needed, man. Also, we're told, like, Tobias killed like 5 birds in one stone, man. It says 30, 17, Salaka. The prayer of the humble pierces the clouds until it come nigh, he would not be comforted, and will not depart till the Most High shall behold to judge righteously and execute judgment. That's how Jacob was with the angel wrestled with him. You got it.
Khan. The prayer of the humble pierceth the clouds, until it come nigh, he will not be comforted. Hey, constantly remain in prayer. Brothers say it all the time. When you wake up in the morning, they throw up all your prayers to the Lord. I've been throwing up my prayers, for brothers, for the downfall of Babylon, and what I can see these things hastening. And I'm just, one piece, one stone in this spiritual temple. So imagine 144,000 stones, Abarat Zam of that number, and these brothers that 144,000 prayers as well as the rest of the elect constantly going up. And as the next part said, he will not be comforted and will not depart till the Most High shall behold to judge righteously and execute judgment. Our prayers being a calamity unto our enemies, the Lord hastening these things. As it says, I think in Psalms 119, now it is time for thee to work, O Lord. And we can see Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shai is working fast out here.
Verse 18. It also says, I forget what book it's in, but it said, the prayer of a righteous man availeth much. I forget the book it's in.
I got one for you.
Khan, you got it.
I'm gonna start at 10. The point is in 13. This second Ezra chapter 2, verse 10. It says, "Thus said the Lord unto Ezra, tell my people that I will give them the kingdom of Jerusalem, which I would have given unto Israel. Their glory also will I take unto me, and give these everlasting tabernacles which I have prepared for them. They will, oh my bad, they shall have the tree of life for all ornaments of sweet Savior. They shall neither labor nor be weary." This is the point right here. Go, and ye shall receive. Pray for a few days unto you, that they may be shortened. The kingdom is already prepared for you. Watch.
Hey, straight to the point. Thus saith the Lord unto Esdras, tell my people that I will give them the kingdom of Jerusalem, which I would have given unto Israel. But what? Go and ye shall receive. Pray. Going back to that Sirach 35, but the prayers of the humble pierceth the clouds for few days unto you, that they may be shortened. What was it saying, Matthew 24? And, except these days be shortened, no flesh would be saved. But for the elect's sake, who are constantly sighing and crying for the abominations that be thereof, the kingdom is already prepared for you. Watch. And, we are living in these times that what we started off with in Luke chapter 10, many great kings and prophets and men have hasted for. So,
You got some more.
Khan. So, hey, Khan. So what? This is just a faith booster to, just keep going, keep preaching, prophesying, and doing whatever we can. And the worse things get out here, the more we know our prayers are being heard, because the Lord is hastening these things. And again, these bad things have to take place for the kingdom to come. So, hey, Hey, don't be in fear of these things because they must needs happen. But you got it. Yakina.
14 it says, "Take heaven and earth to witness, for I have broken the evil in pieces and created the good. For I live, said the Lord. Mother, embrace thy children and bring them up with gladness. Make their feet as fast as a pillar, for I have chosen thee, said the Lord. And those that die, my bad, and those that be dead will I raise up again for from their places and bring them out of their graves. For I have chosen, my bad, for I have chosen my name in Israel. My bad, for I have known my name in Israel. It's like,
And hey, you know, going to Ezekiel 37, this word being preached and prophesied has brought these bones back together and put the flesh and the sinews back unto them. But what? The elect have that breath of life in them to where they know what they know. And I brought this out word that number. We know that we are Israel again. And
like I
what?
said, I want to say something too when you get it, when you finish.
Kind, I'm just going to say, and backing up what it said, we have that earnest expectation of the kingdom. So we're praying and watching for it. And the days are being shortened, to bring us that much closer to it. But you got it.
And like we always said, many of you brothers who watch our videos, we already said before, all right. And when you're in a place of not knowing who your power is, your nationality, all right, and who and where your dwelling supposed to be, you're dead. All right. And we was once dead, calling ourselves Black African Americans, some Jake Negroes, whatever they call, whatever you call yourself as a byword, a proverb, a byword, right? That's in a dead state. And we once was in that state, but the Lord raised us up to be woken, all right, to come back unto Him, all right. That's what that's, and all in all, that's one thing we lead by. We open up the camps. We open up the camps and giving double honors and praise to the Most High for the elect's sake. We out there for the elect. We're not out there for even the whole house of Israel, man. Considering and understanding that 2/3 are going to perish, all right? Only the 1/3 in the elect is going to come back unto the Heavenly Father. But go ahead, Doc.
God. And just to back you up, we can see how detrimental being in that dead state was because what? We're standing outside of it, but still see 2/3 of our people in it. And what? When they hear this bad news, as the brother brought out in Galatians, am I become your enemy because I tell you the truth? They hate, they scoff this word, and they want their captivity to continue. And it's a crazy thing to see somebody who's a slave fight to tooth and nail to be in slavery when you know what it's like to be free in the spirit and know what actual freedom to come is when you're going to be ruling.
I'm gonna get it. The one that said they put forth the evil day, man. They
God.
don't want that day to come. Like the brother, what you said, the opening what of it was?
Uh, good. Bad news is good news.
Bad news is good news for us, all right? And good news is bad news to us, man. We don't want to hear about nobody good, man. Nigga that won a Nobel Peace Prize, all right? We don't want to hear that shit, man. We want to see this place go down, man. All right? It's the same thing happened in the time of what they say that old saying about in the chattel slavery. You had the house nigga. He didn't want master house to burn down, but the guy that was in the field, he would go and help it burn, man. All right. If I had to blow out of my mouth for the house to burn, I'd do it, man. We want this place to go down. You know, only a fool would want another nation and another particular guy over, man. A wicked guy at that. Go ahead, Doc.
Hey, that one we like in Sirach, Kaya, is no life it is to live to eat off another man's table in his house.
Depend upon the boss. Yeah. Miserable.
A miserable life it is to, eat off of another man's table in his house, which is exactly what we're doing. We're in captivity and we got to go to the one of all things unto the nation that hates us the most.
Yeah. It says, also, I think it's a right. It says you'd rather live in a mean cottage. It could be in Wisdom of Solomon, Or
I'm
like
holding
that.
it.
Yes, Sirach.
Huh?
I'm holding
It's,
it.
oh, you got it?
Are you
Yeah.
holding that? John.
Real quick, this Sirach chapter 29, verse 22. Better is the life of a poor man in a mean cottage than delicate fare in another man's house.
Ooh,
Yeah.
woo.
Oh, you got it, Kaya.
Yeah, well, like the brother said, you rather live in a small corner because to live in a small mean cottage is like the smallest spot, a full corner wall, than to be in the world and have delicate fare, to take on this man contracts, this, any bills, anything he has to offer or give us, we would rather be poor, man, and just barely make it by, all right, with the understanding and wisdom we got, than to have a lot, all right, and have sown our soul, man. Meaning what? We worshiping, worshiping this man, what he could do for us, all right, and then and really taking on the demands of sin and wickedness because he's the man of iniquity, man. So we would rather be cut off and put in a corner, like the elder been saying about the Deuteronomy 32, and the Lord turned his back to us for a while, than to take on this man riches, man. You got it.
Hey, you know, I see a roof over every brother's head. A brother's got an internet service to be able to do a live stream like this. A brother's got a phone. Brother's got decent clothing, food, raiment. So hey, we've got that and the truth to preach this word. And going back to that demon Waka Flocka Flame, yeah, you've traveled to several countries, but what? You had to get your colon rearranged to get that money, and you can't talk against Esau like we can talk against Esau.
Yeah, that's not life, man. To have your back pushed in, man. What the hell? To be
That's
in the
it.
to be in the Epstein's files, to be on a Diddy cam, man, it ain't life, man.
It's all around.
To have you be 6 feet tall, but you have a 5'2" rat
Yeah.
hold your wrist across you and lead you.
Yeah. Control. We don't, like you say, the men of the law don't got a freedom of speech, man. They not bought and paid for. All right. So at the end of the day, we could just speak the truth, bro. That's why the Lord gave a banner of truth. If you could get that armor wide, I think it's in Psalm 6 and
I got,
4, but put it in the NLT, huh?
I got a precept off the comment board too.
Come.
Where the brother is prisoners
I hope.
144.
Yep.
The brother had got I read it at 28. This is Sirach 40 and 28 into 29. It says, "My son, lead lid blah, blah, lid getting tongue tied. My son, led not a beggar's life, for better it is to die than to beg." All right, the
Hey,
life. Go ahead. You want to say something on that?
I was just gonna say, it reminds me of this scene. It's probably my favorite scene in that movie, Alien 3, where the Jake was saying, the question is how do you go out? Do you want to go out begging on your fucking knees? He's like, no, I'm not much for begging. I'm gonna go out on my feet. And
Yeah, man.
living a life of begging, like that is not any life to live. Especially as a man, because I mean, shit, you got to have some integrity about you and feel some kind of way that you got to go and when you're begging, what do you got to do? You got to cow down to that person. You can't speak your mind or do what you want. You got to please their emotions to get what you want from them.
Yeah, chuckle and jive, man.
Gotta
Yeah,
be a coon. And then
Mhm.
sometimes they don't even accept you being a coon.
con.
Yeah, roll you out even more, man. Yeah, this says 29. The life of him that depended on another man's table is not to be counted for a life. But he that polluted himself with another man's meat, all right. It says, but a wise man will nourish with will uh beware thereof.
Hey, that's straight from the Lord's mouth. For he for to live at another depend on another man's table is not counted for a life. This is not life we're living. Apostle Gabar says it all the time. We don't know what life A life is. We're simply just living out here, living to get by. But the thing is we have the truth and we have integrity. So we get our daily bread, but we don't look at Esau as the end all be all. And to you Jakes that do, what? You polluted yourself with other men's meat. You bend it over backwards, sometimes literally, to, get the scraps from the table. And now we're at the end of his society, and all that compromising you did, all the nasty things you did to get where you are is crumbling right before your very eyes, and the only thing you're left with is your shame, and you're disgusting yourself for being a sellout.
And I've been seeing that over the years. This with the average person, especially Jake walking around, and most times Jake just living and he just existing. They're not fully reaping the benefits of having a life, man. It's not a life working a 9 to 5 until you goddamn close to 80. All right, punching the goddamn clock. Oh, you got these you got like Eve Mo cases. She's a welfare queen, but you got niggas that want to live off the government too. They can tell you where all the goddamn vouchers at, all the free food, and all this shit at, man. Government cheese, and man, it ain't a life, man. And I'm gonna say this too. You got you, especially you niggas on the West Bank, man. You niggas over here on the West Bank, you love living in the Fisher housing projects, man. It ain't life, man. I gotta wait till my EBT card kick in. But when then you get the card, you still have the goddamn money on that, man. You ain't buying no goddamn food. you niggas get a little bit of food, and the rest you selling for drugs, man.
And what food you are buying is Takis, ramen noodles, Cheetos, just garbage.
Capri Suns, man. Here it is, you 43 still sucking on Capri Suns like when you was goddamn 8, man.
And you squeezing it to get the last drop.
Yeah.
That's diabolical, brother. Come on.
that damn yellow straw down there cutting your lip, man.
Yeah.
Niggas is crazy. But you see, hey, man. Hey, you see some shit out here with Jake, man. Jake on another planet with the shit. And they think that's how life's supposed to go. Man, this white man's world. Nigga can tell you that, but ain't trying to get it from running it either, man. You think that this is just how it's gonna be, how it's supposed to go. And the brother got another one too, another good one. Hebrews, let me get it. Hebrews 11:25. Choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of the Most High than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season.
Hey, we got to read up. We got to read up on that one. I'll start at 24. But by faith, Moses, when he, I'll start at 23. By faith, Moses, when he was born, was hid 3 months of his parents because they saw that he was a proper child and they were not afraid of the king's commandment. By faith, Moses, when he was come to years, refused to be called the son of Pharaoh's daughter. So he was up there in Egypt, which was the power of the day. You can say he was, damn near second in position. He was the son of Pharaoh's daughter. But as it's about to say in 25, choosing rather to suffer affliction with the people of the Most High, who were slaves back then, just were slaves again in spiritual Egypt, than to enjoy the pleasures of sin for a season. To disregard the conditions of his people, the condition of himself, and what, just, hey, I'm gonna just get it how I live out here. I'm gonna get the bag. I'm a sup at another man's table, and that's all it's gonna be.
Hey, that's a cut to that Waka Flocka nigga, man, because you only got that them bill of debts, that digital money only for a moment, nigga. You gonna suffer.
Can't be broke right now anyway.
Yeah. You ain't going so hard in the paint no more, nigga.
Yeah, he don't got no rap. He don't got no contract and shit. He fell off, man.
Yeah, you fell off. You just tall, dreads, slew-footed, and broke.
Yeah, that nigga, man.
He said, man, slew-footed.
When when he came
Goose
across the brothers,
probably broke as a motherfucker. Go ahead, you got it.
and when he came across the brothers, he got a little bit of clout because I completely forgot about Waka Flocka Flame until the brothers told him what a bitch ass nigga he was.
Yeah, his wife left him. She divorced him and shit. He still losing.
He got a fat Moabite and a fat Edomite as his bodyguards. He's through out here.
Mm-hmm. He a loser, man. He probably on child support, spouse support. He a loser, bro.
And then hey, the Lord, his name is says what he is, Waka Flocka Flame, because you ultimately gonna get burned up by those nuclear missiles.
That's a omen omen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Let God do it.
Con,
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
just reading 26, and then you got it.
I thought you were finished. My bad.
Esteeming the reproach of Hamashiach greater riches than the treasures in Egypt. That's Psalms 141. The chastisement of the Lord being a healing. We're being reproached and made a spectacle for the world's sake right now. But what? It's only for a season, and we're coming into the time that we're about to get that praise and fame in all the lands that we were ashamed in. Esteeming the reproach of Hamashiach greater riches than the treasures of Egypt. And we esteem the kingdom of heaven greater than this America, this dollar, this fake plastic lifestyle everybody is bending over backwards and selling their souls to get. For he had respect unto the recompense of the reward, which we have respect unto the recompense of the reward, eternal dominion, joy of our children, our enemies underneath our feet, and being who we were always meant to be, Yasharala, the princes of the power.
Yeah, because we're gonna thrive as men. We're gonna thrive as a nation, man. Forevermore. Forever. All right. This ain't gonna be what we see now, man. We're gonna conquer and rule the world with power and might and dominion, man. All right. New invention, everything, man. The kingdom is gonna be it's gonna be a total living blessing. All right. You see something?
And I mean, look, man, that one you like, Amawad. If a man is honored in poverty, how much more in riches? Jake is, in this
Oh,
lowest state, and Jake's stunting. So how much more is Jake gonna be stunting when he's in full power in the kingdom?
that's
Can't
a
even
good one.
describe it.
That brother had got second I don't know what Thessalonians is. It's Thessalonians 4:12, but he got it in the ESV. But I don't know what Thessalonians is though.
It's
That's
first.
the English Standard Version. I think that's what the ESV is.
Yeah, it's either first or second Thessalonians. But I can't see. Oh, it's first. My bad. I see the number one. It's first Thessalonians 4:12 in the ESV, so that we may walk properly before outsiders and be dependent on no one.
Hey, so that you may walk properly before outsiders and be dependent on no one. You know, yeah, of course we get our daily bread, but we're not dependent on this system. As it says in Isaiah 10, those that no longer stayed upon their enemies that smote them. Hey, we have a battery in our back for Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shai. We don't mince our words for the feelings of these devils out here. And you know how beautiful of a feeling that is, not to be one of those Jakes that when Esau's around, you got to be like, oh, the white man, like.
That's how Jake beat too, man.
Yeah. Got a
Hey,
real
you forgot this, huh? White man. That's how Jake beat, man.
And how much more beautiful that reputation is going to be in the kingdom. You told this devil in his rulership that he was a worthless piece of shit. And then in the kingdom, it's going to be looked at as, hey, when he was in full power, you didn't give a shit about him. And now when he's under your feet, you damn sure don't give a shit about him.
God. Yeah. Preaching against the Edomites in the kingdom of heaven is not going to have any any glory to it, Because right now,
Yeah, I just seen another camp a week ago. You Jakes down there got tickled pink, man. because the Edomite got down on her knees and kiss your boots and shit. There's no glory in that shit, man. You know, you leave from camp and go punch back in to work. Whoop de doo. One 8-mile trailer park looking at a white girl kiss your boot, and niggas happy. You know?
Yeah, that's what they fantasize about. That's not a glory unto their whole thing is about cuckism. All right, the BBC, they fantasize about kissing Jake feet. You're not harming them doing that. But real quick, this for you, Raya. This St. John chapter 8, verse 32. And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
You shall know the truth, who we are and where we're going, and it shall set us free. So we have no expectations for this society. As my boy Vince Vaughn said in that movie Dodgeball, I have no expectations, so I'm never disappointed. I have no expectations in Babylon going forward, so I'm never disappointed when things go bad. But
everything is circumstantial. Besides the brothers in the truth, I'm looking for a person in the world to fuck up, not come through, man.
And battle the moon, battle the blood moon. Stranded, damn it. That's an inside joke. But hey, the brother made a beautiful point. Even these people out here, you know, at this point, when you get in a relationship with a woman, the thing should go into your mind is, okay, the relationship started, but there's going to come a point to where it's going to fall apart. So the ticking time clock started. So I have no expectation for it. I have no expectation for the job. I have no expectation for my family members. So the only thing I have an expectation for is the kingdom of heaven, and what leads to the kingdom of heaven is this bad news, which is our good news.
I got that Baruch still.
Khan. We'll go back to that Sirach 35, and then we'll go to that Baruch. Khan. Yeah, and that's Sirach 35. We're at 18.
Yeah. It says, for the law will not be slack, neither will a mind be patient towards them, that he hath smitten in sunder the loins of the unmerciful, and we pay vengeance to the heathen. That he hath taken away the multitude of the proud, and broken the scepter of the unrighteous.
Khan, for the Lord will not be slack, hearing the prayers of the saints, you know, the poor, piercing the clouds. Neither will the mighty be patient toward them, shortening, you know, the days for the elect's sake, till he had smitten in sunder the loins of the unmerciful, and repaid vengeance to the heathen, till he have taken away the multitude of the proud, and broken the scepter of the unrighteous, which we're seeing take place right now. Our prayers being a calamity unto our enemies, preaching this word, bringing about their bad news, but our good news. And we're going to continue to do so, chanting down this wicked place.
Because the curses are working, man. All right? Curses are working. Hey, we didn't seen Esau at his worst. All right? His women are through, he's under the bridge, begging. All right. And them curses are taking hold and cleaving into him, man.
God. Man, the other day when I was on the job, I saw a damn Edomite sticking his hand in a dirty gutter trying to find some, you know, damn crack rocks.
Right.
And he was a Edomite man in his youth. So you're a loser in your own kingdom. You're a dope fiend. You're a white man, but you're a dope fiend in America.
Living next to niggas.
Yeah, and a two-time loser, finna be a third, man. All right.
You're gonna be just as jacked up as that in the kingdom, but you won't have any dope to, you know, relieve the pain. You're gonna have to take it in full reality.
Yeah, no dope, no pork, you know. Even Jake smoking dope and eating pork. You're not gonna do either.
Hey, no dope, no pork, no punks, nothing.
Yeah.
But you got that verse 19,
God, yeah. Come on, man.
Man, right? Verse 19. For he have rendered to every man according to his deeds, and to the works of men according to their devices. Till he have judged the I think I went out with that. Till he have judged the cause of his people and made them to rejoice in his mercy.
Khan, till he have rendered to every man according to his deeds, the wicked judgments to the wicked deeds, the righteous judgments to the righteous deeds, and to the works of man according to their devices, till he have judged the cause of his people and made them to rejoice in his mercy. That kingdom that's already prepared for us. Wait and pray that, pray for a few days under you to get us closer to it. But hey, this segues us into that Baruch. But I know you said you had one, Kaya.
No, you can get the Baruch, get it. Yeah, I can hold it in the wall. You can let him get that Baruch out of here. I think
Now
you can hold
you can get it because we're gonna go a little while in this Baruch.
it. Just a quick one before I get the one that I had. I got one in Baruch too. Where you at? Baruch what?
4 and 24.
Oh yeah, I was down on that. But this two of my head quick. It was going about depending on another man's table in this one. But this Proverbs 25 and 25, it says, as cold waters to a thirsty soul, so is the good news from a far country. You got it right.
Hey, as cold waters to a thirsty soul, these waters, what did the second part say, Baba Gashai?
It says, as cold waters to a thirsty soul, so is good news from a far country.
So is good news from a far country, cold spiritual waters to, satiate our spiritual thirst out here. And this definitely is good news. Again, to see the downfall of our enemies, to see, all these prophecies we've been preaching about and just seeing on the pages come to pass in real life. So if these things are taking place, then all the things afterwards, the kingdom, the dominion, eternal life, that's going to happen as well.
A righteous man falling down before the wicked is a troubled fountain in a corrupt spring.
You got it.
Yeah. So us kneeling to this man or giving into the system and just different. Basically, to fall down before a wicked man is like muddy waters, and the Lord has given us the water. He give us just the water of affliction. All right, we still able to. We got those living water. All right, that's able to refresh us day to day. So when you go into this man, when us living in the wicked kingdom, it corrupts the water you have. All right, it cuts your connection off to the heavenly Father. All right, that's why it says bread eating in secret, or it says bread. The bread of deceit is sweet to a man, but afterwards his mouth shall be filled with gravel, man. So whether the water or things that sustain you here, if you actually allow it, not to be given unto, transferred over to the spiritual, and you stay in the physical, you gonna perish here, man. It's gonna become corrupt. The water's gonna become corrupt. The things you learn from the Lord is gonna all be polluted, man. This man pollutes here. All right. So if you fall down before the wicked, then you're gonna be destroyed. You got it, bro.
Hey, straight to the point. But yeah, we'll probably close it out in that Baruch, and then any other precepts brothers got after that. Hey, you got it. But you got it, number one.
Go down to 37. Read everything. I had 29 to 37. So go ahead, you got it, bro.
Okay. It's the book of Baruch, chapter 4, and I'm going to start at 23. It says, for I sent you out with mourning and weeping, but the Most High will give you to me again with joy and gladness forever.
Hey, we went out. Hey, my delicate ones have been rough ways, that made the bottom of the nations a gazing stock, a complete joke to these nations. But the Most High will give you to me again with joy and gladness forever. Us getting back our reputation and esteem again and being brought back into our land to rule from it forevermore.
Okay. I just wanted to say this gospel is the only thing that explains to our people why we're in mourning. All right, the Black Power movement, Christianity, Islam, all these religions and philosophies, they don't explain why are the greatest people at the bottom? Why are these troglodytes that can't even wash their hands? Why are they in charge of the world. How does that happen? The scriptures are the only thing that give us an understanding of how we got in this condition and how we're going to get out. It says, like as now the neighbors of Zion have seen your captivity, so shall they see shortly your salvation from our power, which shall come upon you with great glory and brightness of the everlasting.
And then that Wisdom of Solomon 5, then shall the righteous man stand in great boldness before those that afflicted them, and they shall be amazed at the strangeness of his salvation. You know, whether we see him or not, more and more people are watching the videos of the prophets. I know brothers have noticed it. I've noticed it. You'll be watching videos of particular people to where they say things that you've only heard brothers say. So what? This word is going out like that. The fear is coming. The prayer is becoming a calamity unto our enemies. And then the next part to come, the strangeness of our salvation, getting beamed up on those chariots and then coming down to lay down law perfectly.
Okay. It says, my children, suffer patiently the wrath that has come upon you from the Most High. For thine enemy have persecuted thee, but shortly thou shalt see his destruction and shall tread upon his neck.
And hey, we're seeing it come quickly now. Esau's being exposed, and at every level, his kingdom's collapsing. His bed winches and his coons are going down with him. And and eventually we're going to get to the point to where we see his full destruction. Abarata's, what's up?
See a woman leaving him
in droves because she wanna run that meat. But we're gonna Abaratazah word that number. We're gonna be, as it says in Revelation 16, on that sea of glass, looking at the destruction underneath, seeing this wicked place get its righteous recompense. Those 200 million nuclear missiles turning it into that desolate desert. And all the places, this landmass where our people went through the most horrific captivity. Every place, every job you got fucked over at, every place you were been where you didn't get a fair shake, you're gonna be able to see it on fire and burnt to a crisp.
Okay. It says, my delicate ones have gone rough ways and were taken away as a flock caught of the enemies. Be of good comfort, O my children, and cry unto the Most High, for ye shall be remembered of him that brought these things upon you.
Hey, remember to him that brought these things upon you by what? Our prayers, our cries, and our supplications, piercing the clouds, and us not ceasing until the Lord, brings these things to pass. But you can jump down to 30. You had something, Yakina?
it don't go with it though. Don't worry about it.
Kind.
Yeah, I was looking at one, but it's cool.
Verse 30, it says, take a good heart, O Jerusalem, for he that gave thee that name will comfort thee.
Keep going.
Miserable are they that afflicted thee and rejoiced at thy fall. Miserable are the cities which thy children served. Miserable is she that received thy sons.
Keep going.
For as she rejoiced at thy ruin and was glad of thy fall, so shall she be grieved for her own desolation.
Hey, and that her that said, I will never see loss of children or widowhood and stand a lady forever. In 1 hour shall she see both. It took 200 and something years for this wicked place we're coming up on the 250th anniversary in July, which when you look at the statistics, every empire only lasts, that's like the damn near the cutoff point, 250 years. These 250 years of great robbery and murder just to be taken out in 1 hour.
It says, for I will take away the rejoicing of her great multitude, and her pride shall be turned into mourning.
And we're seeing that right now. Edomites all over social media complaining about how, I'm working 2 to 3 jobs. I can't pay my gas and my bills. I need help. My son's a sodomite. My daughter's a whore. All that stuff. And I laugh at that stuff. That people watch skits on TikTok to laugh. I watch those videos to laugh. Seeing the downfall of my enemies.
Okay. It says, for a fire shall come upon her from the everlasting, long to endure, and she shall be inhabited of devils for a great time.
And that's the end all be all. the ultimate bad news for these people that are invested in this society. Nuclear missiles turn it into that desolate, uninhabitable wasteland where man, woman, or child will never set foot on again. And when everything's said and done, it's going to stand as an eternal memorial as to what a wicked kingdom looked like, how not to govern the earth, and what the judgment and punishment was for afflicting the apple of the Most High's eye, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the true children of Israel. And, we can't wait. Again, bad news is our good news. But the brothers have any other precepts they want to bring out?
Yeah, I could close it out with this.
Khan.
This Psalm 112, maybe 6 to 8. It says, surely he shall not be moved forever. The righteous shall be an everlasting remembrance. He, which is the righteous, shall not be afraid of evil times. His heart is fixed, trusting in the Lord. Let me read that in NLT. It says, they, which is the elect or the men of the Lord, they do not fear bad news. They confidently trust the Lord to care for them.
Perfect. They that fear the Lord do not fear bad news, but confidently trust in the Lord, to deliver them. So if we don't fear in bad news, what does that mean? We see it as good news. Because what does it say in Wisdom of Solomon? Fears nothing more than the taking away of the succor that faith brings. We have faith that. What do you say?
And reason.
Kind. And our reason is what? Our reasoning in this knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, which keeps us stable. Because bad things are going to come, but we know that if we stand firm, we're going to receive those good things at the end of it. The kingdom, salvation.
Yeah, it says his heart, which is the elect heart, is established. He shall not be afraid till he see his desire upon his enemy.
He shall not be afraid. Reread it out.
It says his heart is established and fixed. He shall not be afraid until he see his desire upon his enemy.
And his heart is established and fixed, and until he sees, the downfall of his enemies. And we are established and fixed in our heart, our mind or our spirit, and we're diligently waiting for the downfall of our enemies, which is coming quickly. And all this bad news is just more of an indication that we are at these times that those great men and prophets and kings of the past diligently desired to see.
Yeah, I ended with this verse 10. The wicked shall see it and be grieved. He shall gnash with his teeth and melt away. The desire of the wicked shall perish.
There's not a goddamn thing he can do about it. You coming with the persecution, the famine of the word, labeling us as public enemy number one. That still doesn't change the fact that you're the basest of men, that you're an Edomite, you're losing your power, and you're going to go into slavery. And then your nation's going to be cut off after 1,000 years. Thus saith the Lord.
That his word was Esau kryptonite. And the minute the Lord of the river return, I think it's saying that Baruch at the bottom of that Baruch, the children that come of the east, Amorad and that folk. Once the men of the Lord begin to come from the east, the prophets, and started to actually bring the true understanding back to the book, then our enemy began to become grieved, man. All right, because he knew this was a trick of the downfall. This is the devil's bad news, man. All right, this bad news for him, because right, it would hold his destruction, man. All right, it's foretelling his destruction. But for us, it's for a blessing, man. You got it, baby.
Yeah, we finna become the head, and he's finna become the tail, man. All right, the roles are finna be flipped. All right. Let me tell you, Esau, you the new niggas, man. All right, you the new niggas on the block.
Man. You don't live the law is cursed. The nigga don't live the law, you gonna be cursed, man.
Did any brothers have any other precepts or points they wanted to make? All right.
Cool.
Hey, so with that, we hope you sincere Akim and Akwat were edified by this live lesson / indoor camp. And before we get out of here, again, as always, we're going to give all praises, glory, and infinite honors to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Barakah HaKodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who ruled and teach well. And peace and salutations to you, sincere Akim out there, pushing this word in truth and sincerity to the four corners of the globe. May you brothers endure to the end. Ababa Ball,
Bible.
Kwam Yasharala,
Shalom.
Shalawam.
Shalom.